Batgirls issue 16, Becky Cloonan and Michael W. Conrad writing with Neil Googe on the art. So, we have a Mad Hatter issue, which was kind of set up last time, which is basically just the Mad Hatter left an invitation for the Batgirls to come to a tea party with the police. And they give this to the Batgirls, and Steph and Cass are going off to find it. And, Babs is on the comms talking to them. And we get animatronic members or versions of the rest of the Bat family and some of their villains. Well, I say some of their villains. It's the ones who have kind of turned good, but you know what I mean. So, and there's some jokes here where Steph's joking about Tim's robot. It's a shame to break this. And Bab says, it's an animatronic copy. He's like, yeah, but the likeness is really good. Yeah. So, do you know what's so funny about this? Is that this was decent fun. I did think that when they started beating up all the animatronic dolls, it was just a few pages of wackiness that was not that exciting to follow. Yeah. I do think the back half of the issue, though, was really good.
So I got to that point, and I started reading it as I was going to bed, and I was like, do I want to finish this? And I'm glad that I did. I woke up this morning, finished it, because that back half is where this issue
it's
comes
great.
Together.
Yeah, so Mad Hatter's whole trap is that he douses Steph with Man-Bat serum, so she becomes a girl bat, as Cass calls her.
Yeah, and it's aerosolized too, because they're not sure what it is at first.
Yeah.
Because he hits them with it, and then he starts, talking in the riddles that Mad Hatter does, very Lewis Carroll style. So it ends up, and also Cass calling her girl bat was very funny.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. So we get this full page spread. There's a little tease that she's turning or she's transforming, and you sort of like, maybe if you know Batman well enough, you're like, oh, is this a Man-Bat thing? And then sure enough, you get this blonde hair, purple cape version of Man-Bat. So, but we get this great thing, and my favorite part of the whole issue is probably, Cass is just kind of dodging her, and she's refusing to fight her, and eventually just stands in front of her with her sad face and says, don't fight me, and says, I'm your BFF, remember? And my favorite panel of the whole issue is probably when she's just standing in front of her. There's a panel from the side where it's just Cass looking up at her, saying, we woke up early last week, is the dialogue on that panel, but it's just that there's a side-on view of her looking up at her and just being vulnerable, and then Steph ends up hugging her and picks her up, and they go find Mad Hatter. They deal with him. Cass beats the shit out of him. Good fun, as you'd expect. And the end of the issue is, Steph is flying around Cass, and Babs has got her batsuit on at this point. She's got a tranq gun to take her down, and Cass says, "No, don't do it. She's getting out some stress. Let her fly around. I'll take her back to the clock tower soon, or the watchtower, and you can transform her there." And you just see Girl Bat is smiling, she's happy, and Cass hugs her from behind and says she'll never leave her, and that's the end of the issue. It's really sweet.
Yeah, and then they have she talks about after receiving the antidote, she Steph fell asleep for 12 hours, and then Cass sat by her the whole time, and as she slept, she dreamt of flying. I thought that was just a perfectly sweet ending.
This best friendship that they've been building in this book between Cass and Steph has been delightful.
Yeah.
And it's something that I hope sticks. I hope this idea that they're best friends, and it's obviously Steph's the loudmouth who keeps talking. Cass is not obviously.
She lets her fist do the talking.
Yeah. But I hope this this odd friendship that's formed between them keeps, because it's very sweet. And the idea that she's able to talk Steph back down is kind of adorable. So I wouldn't say the issue is a complete knockout, because I do think the fighting the animatronics in the first half is just a little bit whatever. Yeah,
the first half too, because also remembering that it was Hatter that set up Cluemaster, right? To kidnap Steph and all of that stuff, and then this playing into Hatter, that was all fine. There's actually nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't, the storytelling was okay. It's once we get to the best friend stuff, and Steph, turning into the girl bat, and then Cass, it is not Beauty and the Beast or King Kong, but along those kind of lines, I'm not going to hurt you. You can be mad and thrash around and try to hurt me, but I'm not going to hurt you. And there's that trust there. Yeah. And even in a bat monster form, Steph gets. So
yeah, it's very sweet. I love that this book is like able to do these little almost single issue stories and two-parters, and almost all of them have been really building this camaraderie between the two younger Batgirls, and Babs is this sort of mentor character over the top. Like, honestly, like the book's kind of morphed into exactly what I wanted out of a Batgirls book. It just had a rocky first arc, and then from there on, it's just kind of rated its ship.
I also like how they both call each other Batgirl. Right?
Yes.
So when they're out in the field, you know, and it's not like Batgirl 1, Batgirl 2. It's just Batgirl to Batgirl. You know, so I like that a whole lot. Like that's a nice character element.
It's very Spider-Man and males. They just call each other Spider-Man.
Yeah. You know, so, but you know, you're talking about the friendship too, and it's starting to remind me of Dick and Wally, right? To where they got each other's backs no matter what. And if this is one of those that can go through that, then,
and it's,
you know.
It's extra sweet for Cass because Cass just didn't have a normal childhood. So this is like something unique for her that she's never had. No, I mean, Steph maybe doesn't have anyone that's ever been close to her as much as Cass is, but Steph had a normal upbringing. Well,
for the most part, but you know, also like that both of their, you know, at least both of their dads were villains, right? And yet they still decide to fight against that side of things, and you know, and that's where they're similar, and that's why they, you know, and through that bond is where they get close, and just that last sentence of, you know, and dreamt that she was flying, you know, there's a whole subtext layer of there, and you know, their friendship reaching new heights here. So yeah, it's really good. I'm glad I continued going on, because that first half I was like, this is okay. I need to get other stuff read in the morning, but picked right back up, and glad I did.
Yeah, no. So mixed overall, but really strong back half that issue. What are you giving Batgirls, Matt?
7.5.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with that. I think the slightly more just sort of generic first half makes it hard to go any higher than that, but the back half was really sweet, and kind of hits a lot of what I've been really liking about the book. So good stuff. And the art is solid. Like, I think Googe, I don't necessarily like regular faces from Googe, but I think when the characters are all masks for most of the issue like this, like, I think Googe's over-the-top expressions and heads works really well for a character like Cass, who's completely covered in a mask, and all the expressions have to come through that. That's where Googe's art actually kind of excels in a weird way, because it fits it better. So I like that. So like a lot of the expression work with Cass in the cowl is like these big eyes. It's almost kind of what they do with Spider-Man, where, you know, even though we know that there's supposed to be lenses or whatever, through comic book, you know, reasoning, they get bigger and smaller. Like when she's concentrating, the you know, her eyes are more narrowed versus, you know, but like when she looks up at Steph and she's sad, you can read it, and there's like not a face there, right? It is eyes and like a head, but through those eyes, Googe really nails it.